Hey family, Lucian Godfrey here and welcome to this week's episode. So this week we have none other than the executive and he's here to share his story. Before we get started, I would like to say thank you to each and every person who have supported our podcast in our first year and going into the next. I would humbly want to ask you to please click the subscribe button, even though it is free for you, but it does help us to get our message to others because more than 60% of people watching the podcast are not subscribed. So when you subscribe, YouTube will give you a notification the next time when we upload another video. Thank you so much for doing that. Thank you so much for taking out the time to be here. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. It's good to be here. Something very different to what I'm used to.
Yeah, I can
I
imagine.
think I probably did like something once like this, and the scale that I'm in here, when I walked in, I was like, "Whoa, is this for me or for you?" But no, thanks for having me. Really,
No,
pleasure.
thank you. I appreciate the compliment. Like you're saying, it's maybe you obviously used to in terms of radio, etc. And then is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, look, for what I do, I see the camera from time to time when I'm at a gig or corporate, but I think having it on you fully, interview style is it's something
Yeah.
different, you know. I always say I don't like to take pictures unless it's action pics of me playing or
Yes, yes,
you know,
yes.
I'm trying to get into it now with a selfie here and a video there, but it takes a lot out of you, you know, not to overthink it. So yeah, no, having the camera here, they don't know where to look. I look at you, I look there, you know. So yeah, no, that's what I meant with that.
Hey everyone, so sorry to interrupt this broadcast. Just to share a bit of information about Cinematic Edge Studios. So, what we do is if you are having your next corporate event and you need photography, videography, or any event for that matter, or if you would like to start your own podcast, we would like for you to be in contact and you are more than welcome to email me at info@luciangodfrey.com or go to our website cinematicedge.co.za. Looking forward to hearing more from you. Okay, okay, no, 100%. So obviously, people look up to you in terms of what you do and how far you've come. I believe that you're in the industry for 12 years. But before we get
Yeah.
into who you are as a person now, what was your upbringing like? Yeah, born and bred in PE, I believe.
Yeah, from PE. Mom and dad. I have a brother as well, younger brother. And I think it was bound for me to get into this stage setting, performance setting.
Yes.
Many know that my dad is Man Jose, which the DJ also
Yes.
be very well known. And I guess I followed his footsteps.
Yeah.
I was walking closely behind him constantly. And he was very open to obviously teaching me everything that he knows and stuff. So growing up, I've always been a lover of music, of entertainment, seeing how things are done. I was young when I was moving with him already.
Yes.
So basically, that was me growing up, always around him, and then that's where things started, or it sparked for me to where I am today.
That's actually interesting to know because I'm currently in that phase now. When it comes to my son, I kind of feel like, wow, he's 15 years old.
Yeah.
And I did a podcast the other day and I had to run. Before sending it to the editors, I just told him, can you edit this one? Because I'm going to run now. So I thought if he messes up, I can always send it to the editors or I can do it myself when I come back. Came back. Yeah, the guy perfected this. So he does that, he does photography, he does everything that I do, but he obviously has his own flair to it. Would you say that when it comes to your father's feel of doing things, do you have a twist to it, or do they
Yeah,
see?
he always said to me, like, or in anything in life, you know, when they say, if your parents did this for you, you need to take it one step further, you know.
Sure.
If they obtained this, try to work even harder and things. And I think it's the same thing goes with the skill that I was given and the hard work behind the scenes. He had his way of playing and a lot of things that I've taken from him and I still hold dearly in how I do business, in terms of the weddings and functions and anything I do with regards to the entertainment scene. But I was also made aware that should I go fully into this, there's a factor that I have to bring to the table.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's something that I need to do, and make it my own. So he will always say when we play from time to time, back to back, or at a gig, and he'll say, I'm the one, he's the one that plays, the one song to the other song, but I will come and I'll do this and touch here and touch. And that's fine for him. He said, no,
Sure.
you do that because that's what you're supposed to do, So like for instance, your son, we pick up, we learn, and we watch, but we always want to do something a bit better or do more. I think that's also coming from being born in a different era and having
Yeah.
the technology, the YouTube is there, seeing other guys that influenced maybe him and myself as well, and that's how we put a different spin on it. So definitely, we take a lot from where we started, but you need to change things as time progresses, as technology progresses, as skills, what's in at a particular time in terms of maybe it's music or the craft itself. So you have to adapt, just to stay ahead of things.
But do you feel like one is born with a skill, or can you learn the skill as you go? As people watching you, being inspired.
Yeah, look, a lot of people, I would say, we get a lot of DJs. If you're just speaking about the DJ aspect of things, um, some are just born with it. They have an ear for music, ear for beats. Mixing is second to none. Boys,
Sure.
especially back in the day, where they will say that, oh, he's got an ear, so he can mix. In that aspect, I would say you are able to just be born with it, but you can also obtain the skill at a later stage. I
Yeah,
see a
yeah,
lot
yeah.
of guys that's started off as or liking different things and ended up DJing, a
Yeah,
different
yeah.
career and then also wanting to DJ. And I mean, they picked it up. I mean, there's videos like I mentioned on YouTube before. Um, I'm very open to sharing ideas, many of the other guys as well. So you can obtain the skill. A lot of the youngsters are asking now, like, hey, do you have some time to maybe show me a few
Sure.
things? And I'm like, I think the best way to learn, I won't sit you down like a class, man.
Yes.
Move with me if you want to do a function
Yeah.
with me, see what I do, still with the eye. If there's anything in a particular moment, don't know why I did there, then you ask. But I
Sure.
feel like on the go training is the best.
It's the best. Yeah.
A manual or me sitting with you and saying, okay, do this now, do that. I don't see myself. That's why I'm sometimes hesitant to maybe teach others or unless we go the route of just come see how I play, come see what I do. Because
Yeah.
I learn every day. There's nothing that I don't know at all.
Sure.
I keep up with the other guys, but there's always people that inspire me. Besides my dad, and also the guys that he came up with, there's videos I watch, there's DJs I've met, and performers I've met that I've also picked up a thing or two from. So yeah,
So how is it different to actually like for instance on a podcast where it is recorded
Yeah.
other than on radio where it is basically live, and I kind of feel like you can't make a mistake.
Yeah, look, it's what helps not live all the time. So you have
Okay.
your music, and that's the time you prep for the show or prep your lines, possibly like your links coming up. And for me, I took a long time. I still still afraid of certain links and things to do on air because there's so many listening and critiques and all of that type of thing. And me being in the radio industry now for only a few years, where I started from online radio station, which was man-made radio. I had loads of rope there. It was like a DJ doing a show. It's like me mixing, playing tunes, speaking whenever I want to. Then I moved over to Bay FM. Things a bit more structured, where now I have to do things at a time. There's a show clock. So that made you like freak out.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
it's like, I must say this at a particular time. If there's a ad, I need to say the ad. If it's not pre-recorded. So you do stress, and a lot of the times I say my lines probably 3 or 4 times just before I go and click on, with the mic. Now I'm more comfortable because of the show I have and how well it's doing and how I love the show. So I
Yes.
prep more during the week even. I find myself, and on the way to the station, I'm more calm, and then I get on, press play, and I play the music and in between. But I get where you come from. Like, here we can record, stop, break.
Yeah.
There it's like if I hit on and I start with,
Live.
and you know what happens most of the time, it's that, look, I always say my Afrikaans is just enough to get by. I
Like
understand
my
it.
English.
I can speak with you. I understand you fully. My words won't come out as as well as yours, but
Yes.
I'll understand you. Now, when it comes to reading out live WhatsApp messages, for instance, and now it's full on Afrikaans.
Yeah, yeah,
If
yeah.
I don't prep for that particular a shout out or message, I'm gonna mess it up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stutter. I'm gonna take breaks. I'm gonna and ah. So I have to prepare a lot. It's a lot, what happens off air. So people think the music is playing that time, you busy getting ready for your next link, making sure you're okay. So for them it sounds flawless, but for you, you done a lot of work to get there. So yeah, that's how it usually goes in studio for me. Maybe others are different, but for me at the moment.
I think my biggest takeaway from the interview with Adai was just be yourself.
Yeah.
And
Everybody else is already taken, that's why I like growing up as well. Also, I was always privileged enough to have my dad like side by side, and he helped pave the way definitely for me. And I had that Menozaiselite, Jagan Menozaiselite.
Sure.
And I mean, it's a great privilege for me and an honor for me to have that. And it helped me like put that pedestal there so I can work towards something. And then afterwards, be myself. But not meaning that I take away anything from having that stepping stone as Menozaiselite. But I knew the pressures of having that and then being myself and making the name and making him proud, making the people that's watched his journey and now watching my journey separate from him.
Sure.
So be yourself, yes, but I don't take away anything from what I've learned and how I've now made this brand of executive. At some point I thought my name would be DJ Haylon, you know what I mean? So tired I was, But an executive took a while to click, and for myself as well and for others. Even now I'm more executive and not even DJ executive.
Yes.
Because I've grown to that fact now that I'm growing a brand that's way beyond a DJ. It's a name that's on radio, it's a name that part of the transport business, it's a name that I want to tie to, God willing, other businesses. So the brand itself is executive, but I had to learn a lot before I could break that up, like from DJ and limit myself, and being myself authentically type of thing.
100%. In fact, obviously, when starting out, you go wide. And then as things mature, you can always narrow down. Like, for instance, you went as, for instance, the other way around in terms of DJ executive, but now the brand is going into other avenues as well. But now you can obviously bring the brand to executive only because you can go into clothing, for instance.
Yeah, you see, so it's clothing, it's anything. If I had to start the construction business or plumbing or whatever, executive, and I just continues like that. So that's what I had to think of also long term. But starting off, growing up DJ, from virtual DJ to mixing, doing parties, I want to be a DJ, I'm the DJ, But as you get older and even with the MC thing and the radio thing coming in, I'm realizing more and more that it's a brand that I'm building now. This name executive can be tied to anything. The possibilities is endless. So I can't be DJ executives plumbers, baby.
Yeah.
How's it gonna sound?
Executive plumbers.
Sounds right. Sounds like this guy know what he's doing. Sure. You know what I mean? So yeah, I know.
Oh, you were positioned well there, actually, thinking of it. So, many people struggle with the following. How do you put a price to the value that you actually bring? Because oftentimes we see talented people.
Yeah.
I'm sure you also struggled in the beginning. Sometimes you would have done what you're doing now for, and get no value back.
Exposure. Look, it's difficult. I always say, stay true to your own, know your value, but we also need to recognize where we're staying. So if you're delivering a service, especially in this entertainment industry within PE or Eastern Cape, you need to know your target market, what people are willing to spend. And also you can't come in like crazy high or whatever if you haven't really put yourself out there. Many of us that's in the game for now, we have done the work over the years to take what we needed to take, you know what I mean? And I say 12 years because, like I said before that, I mostly helped my dad doing gigs, helping him set up, being with him, and then also gigs he would give me. And then I had to move over to myself. And then also realizing what do I charge, like what am I valued at? I'm busy moving to on my own now, so it's not, no one's negotiating with anyone else. I'm doing the pricing, but what do I put my value as, And that's where I'm able to say now, I do feel that I was so much, because of the work I've done over the past years. And I'm talking about making sure that I took the gigs that had to bring exposure. I took the gigs that didn't pay me as well. I took the gigs for the experience and to build a name, but afterwards, with doing those gigs, I didn't just do it for the sake of it. I was still rendering a service to the best of my ability,
Yes.
making sure that, I always say, as we are on and off the field, making sure that my sound was right, my appearance was good. When I left the function or the gig, there was an impression made,
Sure.
and growing with people. I mean, a lot of times I do weddings. That's my main thing. I always say I'm the wedding DJ.
Yeah.
Always at the wedding. I do weddings for the loving type of thing. That's always my opening line. But at the wedding, but I'll do your wedding, Vincent. But then in that same breath, your mom is turning 50 in the next couple of weeks. Yeah, I'm getting that gig.
Yes.
Then there's the 21st in the family as well. Then there's this, then there's that, And what I did there is open myself to the fact that, opportunities will come. And maybe I took this gig at a certain price, but I made sure I delivered and I know how to get to it where I wanted to be. But I couldn't just jump for it and say, I want to get so much.
Sure.
At first it's not all about the money, but after a while, you realize what your value is at and what you are willing to do. I mean, how things are nowadays, like what are you willing to leave the house for as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
We have a family, every Friday night, every Saturday night, you really want to be out if it's not worth your time. That's why I step out a lot from clubbing gigs or events like that. I prefer the corporates. There I can really see how my month will go, and I say, okay, maybe a Friday night I can take time off to spend with family, because, I mean, the older you get, I might be still young when people say, hey, why you can be so big? You value time, man. You value time with family and friends, and making an effort, not missing opportunities that's also out there. Not everything's always about work and playing. And the minute you find that your value, your worth, you can choose when you want to play and how you want to play it out, when it comes to the months. But if you don't have that, then it's a case of every gig I must do. I must play, I must go out. You tire yourself out. And I mean, fatigue's a real thing. You can't be working a 9 to 5, head over to a gig. Next morning you're up again to do something. Then you're playing later the night. Sunday's church. Then you can't. You really can't do that. And you will feel the after effects of it. I was there as well. My parents used to say, yo, you just sleep here sometimes, because I mean, you Friday night you play, you came from work. Saturday morning I'm up, maybe I'm doing whatever, but I know the afternoon I have a wedding. The Sunday I'm doing this, you can't live like that. So knowing your value, but also putting the work so people can recognize the value. They need to see what you are all about.
Sure.
From the minute they meet you or you walk in. Same with a DJ doing a wedding or a gig. Especially if you have your own sound, like what do you bring to the table that's different from other guys? Because like, in our industry, even with like photographers or anything, it's a case of, okay, if he charged so much and I charge, why can't we go with him? Then people can say, but look, see that setup, look at this setup. See what time he arrives, look time what he arrives. Easy stuff always working, easy. You know what I mean?
Yes,
so
definitely.
unfortunately, those things add to your value.
Yeah.
You need to invest in yourself,
Yeah.
and your craft. I always say the biggest thing you can do for yourself is invest in your craft. If you really love something and then want to do something, invest. And that's the way you're going to stay on top always. And you can also say, but this is why I value myself, because I have this and I have that, but I'm also using it wisely.
Yeah, and especially when you have put in the work, and people invest into basically peace of mind. They know, what, if I have executive there, I don't still have to worry about.
Like how you treat your customers, how you liaise with them, meetings before weddings, especially if you're an MC, how you sit with them. If they want you to rehearsal, you can make it. You're there. With the equipment, they know already. Okay, they don't have to ask you. Do you have a mic? You see, you knew it now. That was that's the $1,000,000 question all the time. It's like, you have a mic now, but then you gave them a price. Everything's included. They can't believe, like, okay, because there's certain people that come without those things. They get to the gig and they're like, no, you guys didn't ask for the mic, but it goes without saying. You know what I mean? Does your mic work? Like, well, that's you can have a mic. Is it cordless? Is it not cordless? And things are expensive, how it goes, and you want the best all the time. So you invest in it, so you obviously need the reward from people to see that.
Definitely, because at the end of the day, for the people take out a lot of money for the specific event, so they obviously want every detail to actually be working. I just but you also touched on the fact that you went through the phase of doing collabs, doing face stuff, etc. And but you need to strike a balance, and but you know when to obviously start charging and
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Like for a youngster growing up, like even the guys ask me now, we all want to be in the limelight. I set goals for myself as well when I grew up because there was names I looked up also to in the game. You know, you Bena be Sham the Funk, you know, like close to me, who I could see and I could like follow their journey. Besides people like my dad, Man Jose, and MCO, um, it's because I could follow that. Okay, they in the club, especially Bena B, Sham the Funk at the time. I was coming into the club scene and things. I said to myself, okay, I have a goal to be there, play alongside them, or maybe not only them, others as well in the industry, open for many big acts that I've seen they have done. So how do I get there? Yes, I had to unfortunately like take the risk by playing the early slots, getting the minimal pay, then promoters seeing, hey, but this guy can play, making sure I'm prepared every time, doing different things, pushing my craft. There was times where I was like constantly recording things, making mixes. I mean, I've been slacking a lot, but that time it was go time, just go because I knew the end goal was to make a name. When if you walk into a space or a club or whatever, it's like, hey, what time are you on? Are you playing? You know what I mean? It was a good feeling, and that was the goal I wanted for myself. But that was also part of my journey, getting to know my worth and knowing that if I'm on a lineup, they like promoters recognizing why are we putting this guy on a lineup? What makes him different from somebody else? You know. So that's also tying into obviously how you value yourself.
And people obviously I I got a gig recently for the photography and videography of a specific event.
Yeah.
They're spending like 70 upwards, 70K upwards on the event. So obviously they want someone reliable. And when I spoke to him, I said, you know what, are you guys covered already? He said, you know, we are covered, but I don't know how much of the equipment this person has or not, but it's not locked in as yet. And then I said, I am available, but don't worry, you can go with that person. And he said, okay, so you're actually available. So then I said, okay, go back to the person. He said, no, I didn't lock things in with him. But because then when I said I'm available, then he was like, you know what, you guys have it, so I don't have to worry. That's one thing less I have to worry about.
Yeah.
Because running the event is already, so people buy into
Reassurance of what you can offer.
peace
Yeah.
of mind. And know, you know what, you've got multiple cameras, or in your case, for instance, your setup, you have additional mics, you have cordless, you have whatever, you know, so they buy into that. Now, delivering the service is one thing, but and word of mouth, obviously it works. It's the most powerful.
Yeah, no. If there's anything you can take away, that's one of the biggest things. I always tie it back once again. You'll notice I put a lot of references to my dad. He's just been part of this journey for a long time. I learned a lot from him, you know. Word of mouth for him all the years. I mean, before your Facebook and even now with TikTok and Instagram. But if you take it a couple of years ago, it wasn't as predominant as it is now. If you're looking for a DJ, you're looking for this. And he was that guy that, you know, people phone, they have your number, or they heard you played here, or you did a go no list there, or he's come from a legendary place like Barbados, and word of mouth will carry for years. Even when people meet me, he's like, hey, you play alright, maybe, but your father, you know, and that's one of the things, you know, people see you, and it's almost like a constant interview or CV that you're busy with. And word of mouth is definitely one thing up there. Really, I think that's one of the biggest marketing tools that you'll still have. Even today, like I'm part of the TikTok and the Instagram, and I'm seeing now how much it actually means or is needed in your business. But before that, I was also more relaxed because of this word of mouth thing. I did your function. They saw me, so they're gonna book me again. Or I played a good set last night, so they're gonna come back and say, you know. So word of mouth. I won't say don't put effort into like presenting yourself well and making sure that that part of your CV is still covered, you know, whether you're putting in a lot of money into Facebook and Instagram or posting constantly, because we forget sometimes. I mean, I'm guilty. I'll start something and I'm like, hey, I forgot to post again. I need to post something, you know. So yeah.
So that was actually one of the questions, but you answered it actually. In terms of how important is social media marketing these days.
Sure.
Yes, word of mouth is right there. I, for instance, built my business globally on social media. So, but I kind of feel like so many people do not understand the importance of it. Like you've mentioned
Yeah.
now, how important it is actually in
It,
terms of
it makes sense, like definitely, like for me, like
because there's 3 billion people on
I used to
Facebook.
treat social media as a normal person. I post a pic if I look good today, if it's Christmas or whatever, or that's how I used to treat it. I used to like pictures, whatever, share where I need to share. But business wise, I didn't think of it. I mean, if I look at how other DJs or MCs are posting constantly, like especially I like overseas guys who do
Sure.
like these vlogs and things, and I'm like, look at the likes they're getting, look at the work they're getting, the equipment, whatever. Like, why am I not doing this stuff? Is it
Sure.
because I'm worried about others, in front of the camera? It's not me, it's not necessary, but really it does help a lot. And you need to make sure that what you're putting out there, mainly like also with weddings, for instance, a lot of couples look at that things when they want to book you. I mean, they
Yeah.
will sit and say, okay, but check this video, look at that video, and I'm realizing that more and more. So as uncomfortable as I am sometimes in front of the camera, I have to put myself out there. I mean, typical example of this past few weeks with myself on TikTok and Facebook. It's just something I started, which I've always had on my show with the motivational minutes, and it's changed people's perspective of me. It's changed the interaction. I've grown probably over the past 3 weeks with the number of followers that I can't even like keep up because I'm thinking to
Wow.
myself, for the longest time I was happy with just having that number, and I was like, fine, those people see it. They're recurring
Sure.
customers, perhaps, or clients. And all of a sudden, yeah, I'm getting more follows, more likes, people interacting, so many messages coming through on like inbox even to say, what, thank you. I didn't know about you. People who love NP who didn't
Uh,
know.
uh,
And that I was like, wow, okay, social media. So as uncomfortable as I am sometimes in the car to make a video or on air, do it.
I
Do
actually
it.
learned
Because
about you from social
you see,
media.
you would have never known. And I mean, if I still want to go to maybe a different station and make this a full time thing, then where are they going to get references from? I mean,
Sure.
someone can tell them, but if they have videos and things and say, okay, this guy is trending or he is someone we can work with or train, and then they will see those type of things. A lot of the gigs also, like the corporate gigs, they will share because sometimes there's one company will always ask, don't you want to, I know you, the lady will say, but just for the members, we need to put together something because they maybe ask 3 different quotes, 3 different guys, and then they want like a mix or, well, not even
Yeah.
a mix, an interaction of you, and then I'm like, really? And then
Yeah.
what do you send them? But now at least I have the YouTube, I have my TikTok to show what I'm about, and it's been like it's been a journey. I won't lie. Like this past few weeks, it's been overwhelming, humbling. It's just so many emotions that even sometimes I just look back at my phone and the messages coming in. I'm like, I'm just blown away by the support, really. So social media is definitely a big thing. So if you're in your um, mindset of I don't need it or I'm too shy, please step out of it. Please,
Yeah.
uncomfortable as it is, step out of it.
I went to 2 businesses last week. One understands the importance of social media. They got on board because we have a team who run like the
Posting and time
posting
and yeah.
and the videos, high quality, etc. And then the other one doesn't see the value in it. So obviously you need to do your part in educating maybe the market on the importance of it, but some people just doesn't see it, and so many businesses died now in 2025, and going into 2026
Watch
so
your plan.
many will actually die because of not taking it serious. Maybe they have something good, but not being online is a huge mistake, I believe. So going to an event, um, whether you the DJ or you're gonna MC, how do you make sure that you present what the client wants, but you also maintain your personality or your style of doing things?
I think
Or don't you have to separate it
no,
out?
I think the reason why you got the gig in the first place because they like who you are and what you bring. If you're gonna change yourself entirely for something, then they got the wrong person. And I don't think many companies would want to do that for you. So I've never had that. I've always had people. It's just do you. I'm actually doing a corporate on Saturday again for a company like I wasn't available last year and I had to get someone else. And then this year they booked me. I won't even like to January, end of January, early February to say, look, let's make sure we
Yeah,
don't have
yeah.
a venue yet, we don't have a thingy yet, but that date is what I'm looking at. Can you just put it in? And only like a couple of months afterwards, I said, hey, don't you remember me? That the venue's here now, and this is there. And that just shows
We
again
want you for
who
you.
you are, how you play. Don't copy anyone's style. Like, even like guys who's coming up now as a DJ also, like, I love the way you play, or I love the way Ken plays, or I love amazing inspirations, but don't let it change you, because you must have that you factor about you. So for me, when I prep for a event, and I can mainly speak about my experiences from a wedding perspective, is that knowing your client. A lot of the times I don't know them. They book me. I meet them for the first time at the meeting. But then I ask like about you. When do you guys start dating? Tell me more about you. Oh, they laugh, make stories. Then I speak at the wedding day as the MC. If I'm lucky enough to do both. And then people
Yeah.
are like, how long you know the couple? I'm like, oh, we met in a week.
Yeah.
Like really? They're like,
You
okay. I know.
sound like you're
I
part of
will
the
always know.
journey.
If you're in PE, I'll know most of people. Like some people in the audience, perhaps, who've seen me. But other than that, the couple sometimes I meet just by through social media. They book me, and then from there I get to know them. So that's just one of the things that I will always say. That stay true to you. Like you can win anyone over if you are you. And the people feel that if you just sticking to a script, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're not you. So yeah, so I think for me preparation is just meet your client, know what they want, but also explain to them this is how I'm gonna be doing things, is it okay with you? And they'll be like, yeah, yeah, do you? That's what we want, step out the comfort zone, make people comfortable, and that's all you need. That go ahead type of thing. But don't change who you are or to fit the script. If something's not for you and you can feel it before the time, don't take it. I think I've actually watched like now with the podcast, there's so many that's coming up. Not coming up, maybe it's been there for a while, but
Sure.
I think it's popping more on my YouTube feed and
Yes,
things
yes.
like that.
YouTube
And
see that, hey, you are
yeah,
interested in this, so
yes,
you
no,
keep
I'm
showing
watching
me.
it, and then one of the talks is also about what do you do as a DJ, for instance? Um, you get the money and to play a corporate, for instance, or you get a gig where they say only play piano,
Yeah.
but you're not an piano DJ. Yes, you know certain songs, but you're more of an other versatile type of guy, like R&B, old school, hip hop, corporate setting. But this corporate company just wants you to play piano. Here's a way to make money now, and maybe they're giving you a big figure. One guy said, no, you prep, you look for the songs, and you get it. Other one said, you can't fake it. Like, people will pick up that's not you. For a corporate gig, like what I do most of the time is that I'm always going to have a bit of this, a bit of that, bit of that. So if someone asks me to play predominantly something I'm not used to, I need to weigh up like, hey, can I prep enough to make sure I execute this to the best of my ability? Or am I just gonna like do it for the sake of doing it to get the money? But then I walk away and it didn't feel like me. People also were like, they play different tonight, or it's not
Mm.
not the executive that I know. So that's also one of the things you need to look at.
How is it different to actually DJ at a corporate event and a local, like, let's say, birthday or wedding? It's probably the same, eh?
Roughly the same. I think if you look at a birthday party, it's always a celebration, always gonna be a good time. You have your go-to songs, your go-to vibes. A corporate can be restricted sometimes. Maybe let's say they give you an hour to play in between, or you have a set and maybe a band is before you or after you.
Yes,
Then
yes,
you
yes.
start thinking, okay, now what do I need to do for this hour? Because you were paid now to make sure this hour you have the people from different backgrounds and you get them all on the floor. So that's
Okay.
also where more prep comes in, because a birthday party, anything go, and you maybe
Yeah.
possibly know the people.
Sure.
A corporate, you get to the gig and then you don't know people who's working here, and now you have managers, CEOs, normal staff, everyone. You need to get them all on the floor, and it's like you have your go-to songs, the songs that's trending now, but they'll run out. So you need to prep and see how I bring everyone onto the dance floor. That was it.
You mentioned quite a bit on prepping, so people would see, you know what, this guy brings everyone on the dance floor, etc., or MC, he makes people laugh,
Yeah.
etc. But it's not like just being born with it and just thinking you're going to go in and this is going to be the case. Makes me think of Ronaldo. Um, Study shows that Ronaldo, he would be 4 hours before they needed to practice, before the rest of the team comes, he would be there. And then also a number of hours afterwards, Sir Alex Ferguson had to shout him from and bring him from the field way after the team left for practice. So, and I can see the same work
Yeah, I
ethic.
know. Yeah, I always say, like, when I do talks, I did a talk at Western Eye last year, and one of the things I touched on was that if you want to be the best or great in your field, especially maybe for the students that's playing hockey or any sport, for instance,
Sure.
and you say, I want to be the best hockey player, I want to be the best cricket player. How are you going to become the best if you only practice, like you mentioned, if the team practices? If your techniques that you're using are only the techniques that you are receiving within the practice or taught at the practice. Same with DJing. If you're only going to play when you get a gig, how are you going to become better? So I will always say, like, if you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always gotten. You need to continuously work on things that's happening within your field to become, I won't say the best, because I always say compete with yourself,
Yeah.
be better than what you were yesterday, but have that mindset that I need to be better than I was last gig. Like, yo, I played that song and this song, but I want to do something even better. And let people inspire you. Don't look at videos as a case, oh, I'm not here yet. Think of me, but how can I get there? I think a more positive switch on looking up to others will change a lot of things for people. I'm that type of person. I'll look at certain things. Wow, but why? Okay, let me see. Go back to the drawing board type of thing. I'm always willing to do that. If you're willing to do that, you will go the distance. If you're not, or you see it as, oh, I can't, it's yeasting, or, then you're holding yourself back. You don't have yourself to blame. So,
I
yeah.
like the fact that in fact, you mentioned for the second time, just be yourself, try and be better than who you were yesterday, and not necessarily compete with others.
Yeah, no. What that comparison's a thief of joy. Like,
Yeah.
the minute you compare yourself, you never leave positive. You're always gonna be negative. You're gonna be upset, or you're gonna.
Yes.
Why would you do that to yourself?
Sure.
Use that as a positive spin on your life and say, what, I'm not there yet, but I will be. I always, when I meet anyone, I always laugh when I make jokes. When whether you pull up with a nice car, whether you did something nice with the family, and I always say, hey, one day when I'm big, then I always say, man, it's klaar groot. You know what I mean? But that's that motivation of one day I must get there. There's certain things I must tick off my bucket list, in a positive thing. You doing something well, ask, hey, how did you get there?
Yeah. Yeah.
How? We're so scared to share, but okay, there's many that also gatekeep things away,
Yeah,
so you
yeah.
must be careful. But yeah.
I'm fortunate to actually have people being open to me. I've learned so much from others, like you've learned from your father and from YouTube, etc. So I'm actually scared of mentioning names because I might just leave some people out. But like Courtney, what he was here earlier, we had a great chat. He just doesn't want to be on the couch. He likes,
Great guy.
likes taking photos of others, but I told him, hey, een van die dagen gaan nie
So
nooit so sit.
I think he's a perfect person for it, man. He's
Yes.
been in the game for a while, and
like
yeah.
him, Anselin, Ashwin, Christians, Ashtowans, I didn't necessarily have a talk with them, but I've heard from others who they all complimented my work, like Bruce Gordon, and those are guys who are legends in this industry. I'm looking up to them, but they are open to share. When I look at their things, I don't say, you know what, I want to be better than this person. I look at how can improve who I was yesterday. So I think it brings a different kind of fulfillment, obviously, and not competing or etc.
No.
And and that's why I actually love the industry, because of the camaraderie amongst. But you also get the negative.
Yeah, you do. But
Personally, I didn't experience it as yet, but and that is why many people don't want to go online. They would rather stay in their circles, because now if executives start posting, now people are going to comment, you didn't mix that or didn't bring that in. How do you deal with that? Because it keeps you from going if you are scared.
I think you can break one down, definitely. And it ties back into just how you need to be positive or put a positive spin. I've been there, I've not taken things that was said to me or criticism that was given to me like to heart. It was more of a light
Yeah.
thing of, okay, let me go back to the drawing board, let me work on it, let me do that. Because I think it's important also to get those comments and to go online and to, build character. It's like that, try and fail but never fail to try. It's like you need to work on yourself. But if you're only gonna get positive comments, you'll never know where your faults lies. I mean, it's not a relationship podcast now, but the same thing goes there also. If you only
Yeah.
know the positives, like what you're doing, then you never know there's certain habits that you have. And if someone doesn't tell you, your boss doesn't tell you, are you gonna know about it? So same with your skill. Someone's gonna eventually point something out to you, but in your best interest. Take it with a pinch of salt. Say, thank you, appreciate it. When did you pick it up? Or how can I maybe do? Maybe that person doesn't have the answer for you. Then you're like, okay, no, it's fine. Then you ask somebody else, okay, did you also pick this up of me and whatever? So take the negativity, don't take it to heart, but take it, use it, put it in your pot and cook with it. You know what I mean? Mix with it. Like we always say when mixing and the song's not so lekker, then we say, it's the horses is running. You know, and
Okay.
then before they can say, then you say it, Fitz.
Yes,
Then you
yes,
say,
yes.
the horses is running, and then you continue and you go for it. I mean,
Sure.
if you're in a club setting, you always like to take the mic to say, it happens to the best of us. Or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
see the
Yes.
players too hot, just too hot here,
Yes.
The crowd immediately start laughing or they
Sure.
smile, they say, hey, you, and whatever. Make
uh.
it fun, make it an experience. There's going to be times. I mean, I've played in places where there's packed crowds and then I stopped the wrong song and it's like, oh, I can't now say, oh, everyone's going to be like, oh, you're a bad DJ. Because that was a mistake. So it's like, what? It happens to the best of us. Are you still with me? Let's do this again. Go for it. And they also like, yo, wow. But if you're just gonna stand there freezing and take things someone said, unfortunately, you're gonna then be also holding yourself behind.
Yes.
Take it, use it, and you need to make mistakes. You need to go through that also. Like, things are not working out. Recording a mix and then every second song is like, didn't come on the way you want to start from over. You're gonna be frustrated, but once you continuously go through that, afterwards it's just gonna be fun for you. You're gonna enjoy now and then also making mistakes. For myself, I mean, I've never played on vinyl. I miss that era and things, but I always say to myself that one day I want to have it in my house, so I want to acquire it. And one of the guys, Jermaine, actually has vinyls, and he said one day come over and come check it out, come play. Yo, if I tell you that day, it wasn't fruitful at all. But I didn't walk away negative. I was like, my partner was there as well, and she was like, hey, are you okay? What's happening? Because you can hear, hey, it's not okay here. But it's
The
part
horses
of
are
it.
running.
I wanna go again. I wanna go again. But give me CD player or give me anything else, I'm gonna go for it. But that day with the vinyl, you listen in the third that, and I said to Jermaine, no man, back away or you play. I can't. But I wanna go back, and that's one of the things. Negativity can grow you, definitely. You will use it, man. Use it to your advantage, and that's how you will just continue bouncing back. If you can look up, you can get up type of thing.
And
Yeah.
this is actually important to share with people that you know what, it's not always going to go your way, and you need to fall in order or make mistakes. You said something smart.
Try and fail, but never fail to try.
Yes, yes. Try and
Make,
fail, but never
make
fail
the
to try.
mistakes. Fall down.
Yeah.
Fall down. Go through the rut. Go through the no gigs, no inquiries. What am I doing wrong? Use that time, introspection. I think lockdown taught us a lot. Nothing was happening, and then you had to find ourselves like, hey, what's the way forward? I used lockdown to my advantage. I needed to change my playing style. I had the mature crowd interest, but now I haven't fully because of the lockdown sessions. I used to play on a Friday night with my dad, and I used to during the week. We can't wait to find out more old school. I'm looking for songs. I'm like, where's this one? Where's that? YouTube, like away from the norm that we're playing and open up a new world. So you need to go through those type of things, definitely.
As we wrap up, how or which encouraging words would you tell people? Already, I'm working with so much value,
Yeah.
especially in terms of just being yourself and knowing that you will make mistakes. People are looking up to you in terms of what you are doing and aspiring to not be like you or better than you, but ever see themselves also actually doing or inspiring others out there?
It's always difficult, because I also need inspiration from
Yes,
people.
yes.
I always say with the motivational minutes on a Sunday, maybe something for you, but maybe today it's meant for me, and I need to hear it. And the fact that they give me a platform to do it, I'm forever grateful for that. But in terms of inspiring words, I've said a lot of things throughout the podcast in terms of motivation and inspiration.
Yes.
But like you always also mentioned about being yourself, if it's something you love, what they say, love what you do what you love, and you never work a day in your life. It doesn't always go well for everyone. I can leave my job and be full-time DJ or full-time musician. But if it's something you love, hold on to it. It won't always be amazing. It won't always be smooth sailing. But if you love something, especially a skill or an art or a service, continue holding on to it. You know what you need to do to make it happen. You know the work you need to put in to make it happen. Nobody else. And sometimes you will become despondent because you're not getting what you thought would happen.
Yes.
But it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Things take time. My journey won't be the same journey as yours, and that's fine. Things that I've reached at a certain age, maybe you take longer, or maybe you will skip certain things.
Yeah.
You don't even know that. There might be steps that I took that they will skip. So just believe in yourself, continue pushing, never give up. I know it's easier said than done, but honestly, the only person that can take you higher is yourself. You can get all the resources, all the support, but at the end of the day, you are the one taking the next step. So yeah, that's more from me.
100%. Now I want to thank you for coming out and for sharing your knowledge. And family, thank you so much for tuning in. And we're looking forward to seeing you on the next podcast. Once again, thank you so much. Your support to the Lucian Godfrey podcast has been amazing thus far. If it was your first time watching, please let us know in the comments what your experience was like and which one stood out for you. Please do subscribe to our channel to be notified the next time when we upload another video. Thank you so much.